everyone, this is Marbé from Marbé Designs, and I'm so happy to have you here in Pasadena Showcase 2023. We have something very special today, someone from a luxury furnishing store here in LA. I want to introduce Jobi. He is a CEO and owner and businessman from Quintus, which is going to be 10 years soon.
Next year.
I know. Tell me about it, the journey.
So, well, we're excited to be here and excited to be supporting you and to be a part of the Pasadena Show House this year. We're a multi-line showroom at the Pacific Design Center. So in addition to our beautiful furniture brand, which we make right here in Los Angeles, we also represent some amazing wall covering, textiles and lighting brands, which are all here in your amazing entrance to the show house. I'm excited to talk about those today.
You're gonna start talking about this amazing wallpaper here.
Right, so we just had Maya Romanoff join us earlier this year. That's been a long process. There's some lines that come to us that want to join us, and there's others where we court them and we're talking with them for a long time and developing relationships over a long period of time. And a brand that's as prominent and important as Maya Romanoff, that's one that's like slow dating. So it took a long time to get them to decide to join us, but they did earlier this year, and it was perfect timing for you doing the show house here, and it was perfect that you picked their shimmering burlap products. So they have this beautiful burlap wallpaper that has mica chips that are applied to the front of it. And we were putting this up in our showroom also. We had just selected it the day that you came in, and I remember showing it to you and thinking this could be really, something glamorous to have.
Same taste.
In the I can only hope to have your taste at some point. But I think it's just, it couldn't be a more perfect wallpaper for the entry here, and the way that it plays with, with the custom painting that you did. And then also we did their silver leaf wallpaper up on the ceiling, which I thought was an amazing choice on your part to do that. So kind of a more classical form to blend in with the classical design of the home, but then blending it with the more modern and glamorous look of the shimmering burlap. The two of them just go perfectly together.
And it helps to give it some depth to the ceiling, and you have no idea how many people have looked and see this amazing wallpaper. They're crazy about it. They cannot believe that it's burlap and mica crystals. And I told them it's the high and the low. They get together very good.
And you picked the perfect color. We have it in our showroom, like I said, and I like the color you picked even better than the one that we have. They both look great, but I love this. Yeah, I love this color that you selected. This seems like it's been a very popular corner, as I've seen on social media over the last few weeks. In here, with the shimmering burlap, we're featuring the icicle sconces from Studio Bel Vetro, and Studio Bel Vetro is a line that is again one where we've developed a very, very strong relationship and friendship with them. They joined our showroom kind of through a unique circumstance where they had approached another showroom. That showroom said they didn't have room for them and suggested they call me. We took a look at it, and I talked to my business partner, Roger Thomas, who's a world famous interior designer and designed the Wynn and designed the Bellagio, and he's probably bought more high-end, beautiful glass lighting than anyone in the history of the world. And he lives in Murano now. He lives in Venice.
I know,
and is looking at beautiful Murano glass all the time. And his comment to me was, I don't want cheap American glass in our showroom. And so I asked him to come look at it. They happened to be doing a little show up in San Francisco, and he was flying back into San Francisco that day. And he came by and looked at it and said, his jaw dropped, and he said, this is the finest example of Venetian glass that I've ever seen made in America.
Because they're trained in Murano, right?
He's one of the few Americans, the owner of Studio Bel Vetro is one of the few Americans that's ever been invited to train over there with the masters. And now they're in Northern California in Sonoma, so all of their lighting is made in Sonoma. And it's just been one of the joys of the showroom for me to have them there, and we've been able to introduce them to showrooms in New York and Dallas and San Francisco and Seattle.
Incredible.
And so now they're all over the country. And,
why we don't show the chandelier now that we're talking about
the chandelier, which has been I think obviously one of the centerpieces of your...
It's the start of the space. And this amazing chandelier is just the start of the space. Everybody who comes is just crazy about it. beautiful for the space, how it drops and moves from the wind from outside, and how it reflects the light to the wall, and the light bounces through the chandelier. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I think just like the shimmering burlap kind of adds some glamour in a traditional home like this. The Ilex chandelier from Studio Belvetro does the same thing. It's one of their most popular designs, and is really a perfect demonstration of their craft and the quality that they produce. So each one of the drops that's up there has actually 2 hand-blown components to it. So they blow a original piece, and then they wait for it to cool, and then they blow a second piece of glass that goes over the top of it, and then pull that down on the bottom. And then about half of the drops that are up there also have 24 karat gold leaf that's fused onto the outside of the glass. So it's, it has a traditional component to it, but then they modernize it through the use of the double blown glass, through the use of the 24 karat gold, and then all of the lighting comes from the canopy up top. And because of the way that they're double blown, when the light hits the drops, it makes it look like they're all lit from inside. And it just gives it this beautiful, shimmering, glamorous effect.
So Jobi, I'm so excited to have used Coro in my design.
Coro is a pretty amazing company, and they're a newer brand for us. Their claim to fame, I guess, is they've traditionally been a producer of high-end luxury bedding and sheets. And so all of their looms were double width to be able to have wide enough products to be able to do king-size sheets.
Yeah.
And as a result, what they do now basically with all of their textiles is all of their textiles are double width, which for designers is really important for draperies and top of bed and things like that. This last year, they introduced a new program called the Grand Design, and that's what is up on the mural here on the wall. And it's a mural program, but instead of printing it as wallpaper, they're printing it as a textile that can then be upholstered onto the walls. And they have a whole system for how it's upholstered and attached to the walls. And they have multiple patterns, really modern, kind of nice transitional scenes like the one you used here, and then some really traditional scenes as well. And they keep adding new ones. And because it's digitally printed, they have the ability to custom size it to whatever the wall is.
Yeah, scale it up or down.
Up or down, or you can just pick, like you did, one section of it that you want to have.
Yeah.
And then they'll make sure that they print just that section. It just gives you a really nice, softer way of dressing a wall, and it also can be really good for noise as well, and for sound.
Soundproof.
Soundproofing.
Yeah, you can put the padding. I didn't do that because I want it very flat, but you can put the padding behind it.
Exactly.
And it helps to soundproof.
Exactly. And then some of the other fabrics you use from another newer vendor to the industry, the Sign Textiles, which has just become a favorite of ours in the showroom.
They're amazing.
They have beautiful velvets, really amazingly glamorous fabrics, incredible customer service, and they're only about 10 years old, just like us. So we love finding brands like that and giving them a platform and giving them a way to grow.
The quality of the velvet is just incredible.
They source from the finest mills in Italy and stock everything. And like I said, they're just an absolute joy to work with.
So Jobi, I also used another vendor from your showroom, Rubelli. Who doesn't know Rubelli, right? And the Chase Erwin doing my custom draperies. And I want you to talk about what I did there and how I used the colors and the fabric behind the process a little bit.
Well, I think, when you have an iconic brand like Rubelli, there's so many different ways that you can use it, from the velvets they have to draperies to their classic damasks. They kind of do everything, and they're just one of the most wonderful companies and revered companies in the industry. They're based in Venice. I had the opportunity to go visit their archives earlier this year, which was incredible, and I think you did just an amazing job of taking a very small nook here with both of the windows and dressing it up and warming it up by using their beautiful fabric, and then using this beautiful sheer from, again, another newer company that we brought into the showroom called Chase Erwin. They're based in London, and were just purchased by a new ownership group last year, and we're really excited about the future with this brand.
I know.
And so again, we're showing one of the more traditional classic companies in the industry that's iconic and everyone knows Rebelli, and then we love mixing in the new fresh faces of the industry, and that's what we call ourselves often at the design centers, that we're the fresh face of the Pacific Design Center.
Yeah.
So we're trying to blend that mix of having the iconic brands with the new, fresh, up and coming, and we're always going to give them a place in a platform to show their beautiful design.
I think what you do is showing, and designers are very happy. I'm very happy, and your showroom is just exquisite. It's not a showroom. You feel like you are in a house, in a home, and how you set everything and how you walk around it. And the way that you put the fabrics in a different way, not the traditional way, I love that. And all
that's
the
all Roger Thomas, my business partner. So I'm very, very blessed in many ways to have him in my life and to have him as a partner in the business. And the two of us just really collaborated well. And when we were designing the showroom during COVID, the most important thing I said to him is I don't want it to look or feel like any other showroom in the building. I want it to have a warmth to it that you don't see in other textile showrooms. So every detail in there, to the color of our batons that we hang the fabrics on, is customized and different so that it has a warmth to it that you just don't find in other showrooms. I would walk through other showrooms and I felt like the lighting and the way they were set up, I felt like I was in a dentist office or something.
Incredible. The attention to detail is unmatched. I haven't ever seen a showroom as beautiful as yours. Like, everyone has to go and see it. It's just amazing.
Well, I would have to say the attention to detail was demonstrated here as well at your show house, and we're very proud of you and very happy for you.
Thank you for your
congratulations.
Support. Thank you so much for your support.
Aww.